We do have the first sack break coming through now. We've got Elo running on the base jumper actually from Caber. See what he's going to do. He's going to highball across the edge of the house. So they've gotten the critics away. Anacor's in, being a big massive parachute man distraction. Nothing's come of it so far though. Mezzo's not quite in position to get a stab. They do get the sniper pick actually though, so Kazarok winning that first FPS on getting Stinger.
Yeah, I mean, snipe down on the defense is a huge deal, especially on this first point, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Degu or Gedu on the medic there coming out for SDCK, you know, because once the sniper's down, you don't really have to worry about that insta-glide shot from across the map, and, you know, maybe go for some sacks, but before that sniper gets back into position, you kind of want to be pushing out, but they're deciding not to here, and the fact that the teleporter is still up here from Doom, it is getting sapped now. But Stinghan is made his way to the front line, so he's back in position now. So he's ready to try and click on some heads, and SDCK kind of have to be a bit careful with they coming out spawn already.
Yeah, we just see Poker work his way up here, gets instantly domed by Stinger though, and the Uber does get used through main. They've gotten free, they've got the entire combo down already, apart from the medic here. We've got OJ here just trying to use his Uber, but probably use it to leave in the end. I think they're going to get a second hold up here.
That's really boring. I mean, you know, they have such a much better Uber. They didn't use Uber until SDCK had finished theirs, but
consolation prize, though. Trooper does get Eligor on the end there, so might slow down the push a little bit, but look how far forward Jackie legs is. He's just walking straight through. I mean, we got, they've been stood down a little bit though with the lack of that demo man found across the top there, so Trooper might be salvaging a passive hold here, but they're trying to retake it actually. The sniper's passive still.
Yeah, I think Jackie's going to be really important for SDCK. He does have a big voice on the team, having played with him. You know, he does kind of really supplement those main calls. And yeah, medic down. Big kill from Udker, and Stinghan takes down Kazarok, winning that sniper battle. So maybe a chance for some solidification here from inVision, just to get themselves up on the second point. Clark is walking forward.
Yeah, Clark just strolls through tunnel. I mean, interesting, but you know, always got something on. Mezzo's lurking here, he's jumping down. He gets Stinger instantly there, really good jumping in. That's going to open it up big time for SDCK. They will take that straight forward.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in having an Uber advantage if you don't have the players to deny the ground. Actually getting really aggressive.
Yeah. Really aggressive. They might actually get Degu here. He gets pipes. Really good from inVision, actually. They did a med afterwards to Kazarok snipe. Just unfortunate in the end there. But no heals on either team here, so could see a bit of a fight coming over from inVision, but they're already on the low ground here. No heals. Everyone's weak in the combo, though, in terms of SDCK, though. So far, only the Spencer going down. The guns have been pulled back, though, so they inVision will decide to just play on the safe side and back out of that situation.
It's a smart decision. Jorge's going to be spawning now. It's going to be about 10% disadvantage. SDCK did the right thing though. They lost their medic, but everyone else just decided to press the W key, walk forward, and take that ground. Dito does take down Layla. Sorry, not Layla, Kazarok. And takes down Yahoo, goes down to Stinghan. So, you know, a couple of players out of the action, just slowing things down here. SDCK just doing that situation where, you know, they lose a couple of important players, but they just send everyone else forward. Because those people are still alive, there's no point in just chilling. You can just walk forward and try and get as much damage as you can. And they've got the first 2 points in less than 3 minutes. They are losing a few players now, and it's all about this third point.
Dito pick has happened though, so it's going to open up this this main here, but just Kazarok to get free spam once he's got a headshot singing as well. So we can have a few seconds here while he's getting buffs from send a demo in, get some space forward here. But this is notorious, and Eligor goes down actually, so I'm just saying, but this is actually notorious upward third hold. It's been perfected over the past few years, I would say, by a certain couple of teams in Premiership.
Yeah, you get players in the right positions and it can be very hard to break down, and Chupa's so aggressive. You see how aggressive he is. He has these really aggressive uncloaks, kind of like Mezzo as well, where they just go for the big picks really aggressively, and then Stinghan is on fire.
Off. Yeah,
4-kill streak right now, and he's just blocking that cart. You see Yahoo and Jackie are on the cart right now, trying to get some time up, but they're just being denied.
And they're being forced to back off from the cart. It's up this little tiny hill as well, just back to it. It's so frustrating trying to get the cart up these little upward hills as well. Actually, the Uber does come in straight away here, but Tertio's not quite denying it yet, but I think he's doing with the soldier, Jackie. They do use the Uber fairly late though, so there's nothing happened just yet, but again, during that trade, Yahoo's pushed the cart up the hill a bit, so that's the first hill done.
That first hill is very important because then it's really easy to get around the barrier. It's this next hill where you try to get it onto the edge. And this is where the sniper can do so much, but Mezzo takes down Stinghan. Lots of people going down here for SDCK, but May is just pushing that car. He's got it up the next hill. If he gets up this third one, it's going to be huge.
They're just not focusing May. It actually falls off the end, I think, but he's not focusing this car at all. Finally, they're going to start shooting at him, but he just got on like a hill and a half just for free there. Up through roller coaster, like that's just insane. There were 3 people alive and just didn't look at the car. I think maybe a bit of nerves bringing from inVision. I think. I mean, they know there's quite a few, you know, DM people on the side of SDCK who can just come out of nowhere and just drop your medic instantly. But when you have that amount of control, it's only really like a 20 health soldier in the mid, you want to try and focus that car a bit more. Blackie does go down on top actually, so. But again, Mezzo is just taking down Detailed, he's just getting these picks, being a nuisance. And May's back on this car, just pushing up a hill. Oh, Stingen domes him, saves the car from getting up the hill finally.
It seems that Stingen is the guy that is watching car, and the reason it got so far up before was because he was down, and no one else was really taking that job of trying to go forward and actually denying that space on the car. But it is being denied right now, and players, big jump from Jackie, jumping all the way around, but doesn't actually go for anything. A couple of players go down for inVision though. Duo and Nuka, there is no flag. It's going to be harder for them to actually block the cart now. But I don't know, inVision have managed to take a few minutes from the time here. They can actually relax and just get themselves up and expect for this Uber to come in as it does.
Yeah, they've used the Uber as they're pushing this cart up. They're forcing the focus to be off of the cart here. They do manage to get people off the cart and the end is up the final hill, so then the value of blocking the cart just diminishes at that point because it's just so close, it can't roll back anymore. And I think inVision, they're going to try and test it a bit. So they have got a few picks, but I'm not sure how long they can hold on to this for. The guy who's just creeping it in as well.
Yeah, and Duo managed to take down the medic. So, despite the fact, I mean, they've got a good result out of that, I would say. They got the car and they should be able to get the cap. They see Jackie just jumping just onto the car. Jupiter is standing on it to physically, block that car. And now Tuha is trying to do exactly the same. But the fact that Jorge now has an advantage at 60%, 50% more than Gedu. So that does mean that they can chip a Sting hand down. That's a lot of denial out the way, and I think SDCK just going to strong arm this forward.
Yeah, two is just he does die in the end there, but he was just kind of farming there. 11 kills from that cart. But my word!
Chupa and Mezzo simultaneously taking down the medics, but that's worse for inVision. They had the advantage, they were in control of the map, but now SDCK just going to stroll this onto the third point, and they're going to have an advantage for last.
Yeah, defending upward last just is something that you really don't want to be doing, because if it's sort of a lot of the time that you got the sniper on box to spot if it's equal or you've got ad, and that's really good to defend. But if you've got disad, you can just get forced to top right. We see players here trying to just filter into tiles and window and just try and just take some ground. But actually, the Ubers are equaling out in the end. I think Dago wasn't really healing for a while, so the disad has sort of been rectified by lack of healing on blue side.
I think he may have spawned in the earlier spawn, not taking the forward spawn, so maybe taking that few seconds it takes. Chupa again getting a backstab onto Poker, just slowing things down. 7 minutes though, we've gone past the 7 minute mark for 3 points.
Yeah, but 7 minutes 3 points is a respectable time. I mean, a lot of the times now we're going to see 7.5 minutes for all 4 points on upward. That's like the average time nowadays. But actually, Jackie just goes in and kills Doom. Like you were saying just now, how inVision managed to pick off pick up the Poker for SDCK, but they traded like 6 people to get that in the end. So they've just been forced to play on his top right position now. They're really passive spot, and both mates coming up to the 100 Uber now. So they, I think inVision was looking to cross this actually. They're going straight through May.
But it doesn't matter. That's a drop from Degu Chupa again. That must be about his 3rd mid pick so far. Doing so much work. Uber is used by inVision. Jorge flashing people in main, and he's actually healing a Spy Under now right now. Yeah,
and inVision have dropped their demo and scout after the Uber. Just Poker just sits in a corner with his minigun rev. Like, I don't really care. You're dropping people into me. I'll just aim at you. And suddenly, the med drop from a full ad Uber charge turns into a really bad situation. Tuya does win a heavy 1v1 against Poker in the end, and May goes down on the cart a bit slow for a while. But Yahoo's just getting all the spam off the cart here. Eventually the scout will come in and assist the defense. So it's a bit of a scrappy fight going on here. I mean, both teams are losing a lot of players. Suddenly they've lost Turge now, so the cart's going to be very difficult to deny here.
Yeah, they've got Detoed alive, which is huge. He's going to try and put out as much spam onto that car as he can. You see he's just farming that damage. SDCK trying to push us in through main. They do lose Tuha. Yang gets flown into the air, and actually they're losing people here.
They're getting these picked on the cart though. Like everyone who just walks in just gets deleted by either Stingen or just spam or whatever is on the cart. Like,
Sting's actually taking down the medic as well, so it should have an advantage. They haven't got the players though.
80% of Uber means nothing when you got no one to use it on. And the Pyro's in the end, Tertio denying it, but 9 minutes and 32 seconds. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe SDCK were Team A for these picks of bans, so this should have been their pick.
Yeah, I have to check the match page, but I would think that they'd like to play this map.
Regardless of what team's pick is, I mean, we see Upward as just a staple map. I mean, I remember the last Grand Finals we had, and the semi-finals as well against it was the Oleski and Yak team a couple of seasons ago, but we just had this super aggressive second hold come out from SDCK. They put the heavy up forwards and they got like 5 or 6 minutes just a second out of it. I mean just getting any team to get a 9 minute and 32 time against SDCK is, you'd be very impressed with that if you're inVision right now. That's all I'm saying about it.
Yeah, I mean, inVision, I think, you know, we usually see this in grand finals from experience and like playing and casting. Usually the higher seed, like at the start of a game, they go in with maybe an expectation, and sometimes the lower seed can kind of hit them hard. And I think that's what happened here, and I think it's going to take just a few minutes for you know, SDCK to sort of stabilize themselves, because they did look a little bit shaky. First 2 points they were just pushing forward, they didn't look scared at all, but after the third point a few struggles, you know, like on that last point it still took them a minute after things looks like it should have been won, and Jackie eventually jumped up and killed Dito, which allowed them to push in and win in the end. But it took them a while, and I think inVision definitely going to look at this like this is a winnable round for them.
I was just to see the news as well. This is actually SDCK's map pick. This is they have picked up what is the first one. So getting a below average time against a, you know, inferior team when it's your map pick, it doesn't really, like, it can hinder your morale a lot of the time. But I think they won't let it get to them, seeing SDCK have played for like 10 years TF2 now. We're getting to that point, but it can be very hindering to your team's gameplay experience if you do get like farmed that hard. But they get forced as well. I'm not sure what got to in the end there. I think it was just coordinated spam. He's quite low after his Uber, but that's just a very easy force, I think, for inVision. It was, you know. Yeah,
it was Dwarf going in, like, yeah, just got taken down by the sentry, but gets the force, and that's an exchange. As a soldier in Highlander, you'll take that any day of the week. And now Jorge is going to come out with that full Uber charge. Kazarok is actually quite aggressive here, takes down Doom. Ezo's lurking behind, but the Uber's used very, very early on. Are they going to get anything down? They're not getting that much done other than ground here.
I mean, Kaz is getting kicked outside the Uber as well, so.
Yeah. SDCK might want to contest this. They've taken down the medic.
Oh, and they walk on the cart as well. This is such an easy fight, just walk in. And yeah, they're doing it. Both teams are dropping everyone, and Stingen just gets Clark and Digu. That ends that repush attempt from SDCK. They're going to have to back out here, surely.
I mean, that was looking so good for SDCK, but this is what I talk about. This is the individuals in the big games, they turn up. Like, you could have an amazing team. You could be extremely well coordinated as Mezzo goes in and he shows individual brilliance as well. You know, this is these moments where you have the players that step up in the big games and they say, right, we need to, you know, am I going to hit headshot? Am I going to get the backstab? And both of those players do. Gedo actually has an advantage now over Jorge after Mezzo getting that backstab onto the inVision medic.
Him as well. He's on the medic, but he missed the second rocket, sadly. They go so low there, but sadly the rocket didn't quite connect onto him, so he will escape with his life.
There's actually a lot of pressure going on in tunnel, and Jackie has to back away, and SDCK are probably going to be relayed that information and trying to contest this. And there we go, Kazarok looking down the tunnel, getting revenge onto Stinghand, and now he can snipe without worry of any bullets flying past his head. And inVision have to be careful here because they do have a D-SAD. They are kind of weak, and they're all in tunnel, which is not really a place.
He's on deck. He just gets two shot. He just comes in from the side of the cliff and just two shots a medic, and Chupa comes and gets poker as well. Like, it was looking really like a really good sort of forward hold there for Dickmann's, but suddenly it just all falls apart to an extent, really. Lose your medic, and Kazarok's out as well. It's Chupa. He just comes in behind and kills him for B house.
I mean, that's a great play by Urka, but coming from the medic standpoint, you got to think, why is no one watching that angle?
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, even if someone he hits two shots and takes them down, Yahoo gets backstabbed here, so there's no Pyro to be able to deflect this Uber, as Jorge has a huge advantage. He's going to use it though on the second point. The sentry from Clark is still alive, and I don't know if this might be a bit of a misplay here. They could have maybe used that Uber on the third point and able to roll it a bit.
They did want to try and get that sentry out the corner. He did have May just sort of shooting at him as well, but he was on full health. So I think it's sort of colloquially known as the pussy pop, really, sadly, from coming out from Jorge there. They're going to really use this ad for pushing third here. I mean, it's so difficult to walk up into pretty much any point up with this ad, but especially third and last. Like this third point, you've got so much ground.
Third is so hard.
Yeah.
Like, trying to get any force on that medic, now that Gedo has that advantage, it's going to be very difficult for them to take any space. Stinghand going down there, so no snipes from him. And it's kind of right now all about whether inVision can get the car up and get some pressure on the key players. Take down Kazarok, take down Elokor, which right now they look very well protected. SDCK have that blob right in the area where they need it to be. It's going to be very hard for inVision to get any ground, but they are trying to push it up.
Yeah, they go right here. I mean, all the focus seems to be going now just locking out Singen and Tuya out of the catwalk area, and they've sort of given up this hill to try and get that, and Jorge is coming up to 100% Uber charge, so I mean, equal Ubers isn't very favourable on upward third, but and they get forced early by Mezzo trying to trick Sapimo actually. And look at this, we got Yahoo just like denying his entire Uber. Jorge is forced into Banana for a second there, but he's so weak he gets out. The Spy and the Demo there just trying to take him down in the end there. they might see a little bit of a slow repush coming out here from inVision as Stigan picks up Elikor as well, and Maze down as well, so side house is just completely free for anyone wanting to walk in there. But so far the only person in is the scout looker here. Like there's not too much. I think there's a lot having behind with the Dito that he comes in and just takes down Clark and Kazza. Like, okay, Dito. Yeah.
And Duo getting kills as well, like, in behind. The great thing there was just not an impressive situation, but Doom and Udka there. May was doing the right decision to try and block the cart, not letting out get out that second ramp. But he went for it, and Doom's mini sentry just takes him out, and Udka's able to push the cart uncontested. And that's what happens. We've seen on both teams not getting that pressure on the third point when they don't have their full complement of players up. And right now is equal Ubers is not no Stinger with the headshot, and the Mezzo takes down Jorge.
Both medics just die at just the same time here. It's like just synchronized death clocks on the medics here. Absolutely incredible.
They're not that bad, are they? They just, you know, they want to keep it fair.
Yeah, we want like we've got 4 minutes left. I want to end too quickly now, do we? We want the full complement of golden caps on Upwood and Gully Wash for the entire evening.
Well, you know, I do have plans for later, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, they've traded what 5, 6 players, including their medic, to take down Elikor and Poker. So I don't think that's a brilliant trade from inVision right now. No. It's going to be 30% disad for them. And you take a look at SDCK, where they are right now. They're holding on the high ground. They're in a really good position. This is a position that is very, very holdable for, you know, a few minutes if you get your trades right. And as long as they have that ad, they're going to be pretty comfortable. And inVision haven't got the cart through this choke yet. This choke is actually really underrated about how easily defendable it is because of the many different angles you can get onto. So inVision need to get it through, which Uka and Doom are trying. You just push it through a little bit further.
They're actually combined to take on a soldier as well. They just did a little sneaky. They pushed the cart when we got down and killed Jackie. But I was going to comment just now how Jackie seemed to have conch every 5 seconds this entire game. I don't think I've actually looked at his cam and just seen him without the conch aura around this entire defense. So he's going to get a high DPM start off this, I'm sure. But it's just kind of this awkward standoff going on now when both teams have the Uber just waiting for someone to die. But it looks like they're going to take the scout over straight through under. And it's actually looking quite effective making this space. They're forcing him to flash a lot. But in the end, I think SDCK will get the better Uber out of it. And they take down the scout of Utka. Shub comes in at the end afterwards, but he's sort of mistimed that. And they've already backed up top. But the hold is sort of vulnerable up here now, because only really those 3. They've got no heavy up there, they've got no soldier. It's just the medic, Pyro, and Demo just sitting top on the lonesome. Clark will get up here in the end, trying to get a teleporter up. I'd imagine they're going to be trying to get their sniper into the box position. They seem to be stabilizing in the end, though, so I think SDCK, you know, the cart is pretty close to the end here, but I think SDCK are looking quite comfortable with this fatal Uber advantage and just the player had now.
Yeah, Mezzo managed to get Jorge actually dominating the medic, so he's been getting a lot of medics, and with this ad now SDCK, they just have to sit and not make mistakes. And that may sound simple, but in a high pressure situation with players of this caliber, it's all about kind of, you know, playing it smart. But Mezzo getting a double kill there, Dito and Stingham both going down. So 2 big players from inVision out of the equation right now, but 3 down for SDCK. As long as that sentry is up from Clark, it's going to be very hard to get end cap time on that cart. And as long as they hold the high ground, it's going to be very hard for them to get in a position to spam it. So this is pretty much all down to this one push. They need to get a good push here, inVision. Otherwise, SDCK will take this first round.
Yeah, they've got to try and just get Yahoo down here. He's on 8k right now, just defending this top, like basically for free. People will go down on the cart as well. I think inVision, they're sort of rushing this. They're getting people in too early. They just need to try and get a good trade in the repush going. They've got really good damage on Daegu and Jackie there. But in the end, they've got no cart time. Jackie does go down in the end, and then Daegu does get forced. He sort of is being pressured into leaving into his spawn now. There's 3 down for inVision here, so maybe the top can come in. The Pyro is on Detoed, but they are losing players. inVision are, sorry, SDCK are.
Yeah, they're 3 down. Jackie jumps down onto the cart, but I need to lay down some damage, and big jump in from Jackie. He's going to get a lot of damage down onto the cart. Try to kill those cart pushes, but there's only 3 up for SDCK.
Yeah, Daegu down as well. 3 people alive. Like inVision, they need to kill these spam classes and just try and get some cap time going on here. Like the respawns are going to come in just at the end, and Jackie does actually save it at the end. He juggles the D-pad off of the cart there just at the end there. That would have been a cap right in that moment if it hadn't been for that juggle, to be honest. Like, that's insane. We've got Heavy just trying his very best. There's still time to do it, but SDCK are dropping a lot of players here. It's 5 seconds, and there's just they're down a lot of players, but there's no one in position to get onto that cart in time. So after a bit of a shaky ticking round, SDCK will take that defense and put their first points on the scoreboard in this grand finals.
It was a very, very close round indeed. I mean, there was one moment there when there was about 1 minute 30 left on the clock. We saw 3 players from inVision try to go onto the cart and they died. And then the Uber exchange happened, which wasn't really great for them. And the problem with that was, if they'd done that at the same time, even though it was a bad return, the players on the cart would still have died, and the Uber still would have been not great. They may have got more done and more attention diverted away from the car, maybe push the car a little bit further. But the fact that people, like you said, I think they were panicking up, but rushing things, seeing how much time they had left and trying to get stuff done a little bit. If they just calmed it down and just said, okay, we just need to do an exchange here, and they almost had it. They were getting people on the car, but they had Poker still alive on those stairs, allowing him to just shoot people on one side of the car while stickies were being rained down on the others. So very, very close. But in the end, SDCK taking the first round on their map pick, and I definitely think that's going to be a bit of a demoralizing one for inVision to take after that.
Oh yeah, like if you sort of have the carrot of victory just dangled in front of you for a second, then you think, wow, we just got on like a 9-minute defending time against the three-time Premiership champions here. Sort of the underdog's dream in the end there. But I think if they hadn't have rushed that initial, it's sort of like a double-edged sword, because I think that initial rushing of the last push, it kind of gave a bit of a kick up the butt and made them sort of consolidate their efforts around the cart in the end. But they spent all of their focus killing Man, who wasn't really in a position to deny the cart. It was more Jackie just on those stairs there, who was in a much better position to deny the cart at the end there. And I'm convinced now, just looking at the little replay in my mind, the cart was one wheel across the edge with just the Dickmann Detoed on there. If Jackie hadn't hit that rocket, that cart would have been in the pit, because the respawns were still half a second away, and they would have had to spend time walking and shooting the guns at him, and it would have taken too long. So just these tiny individual plays sort of saving the game at the end for both teams in many ways, as we are readying up once again.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what happens in games like this. So both of these teams have got to this position. They have a lot of experience as players individually, but also as a team playing together. They have the synergy, they have the chemistry, they know how to go in together and use that teamwork to help them win games. But at some point, there are those little moments during games where an individual play is going to, really win you the game. Getting that headshot, getting that backstab, or making the right decision. Do I go for the cart here? Do I go for the medic here? And, it's just those little things that can be the difference between winning and losing a game. And, with the cart that close, I mean, looking back when inVision were defending the last point, Tercio actually pushed everybody off the cart, but the cart had gone past that 1 millimeter that allowed it to slowly tip over. So it's those little things. But yeah, inVision will be attacking first this time, so we'll see if they can, maybe actually get the cart all the way in. SDCK and the red defending, and then they'll try to beat the time. And of course, if they do win this round, then they'll take the map and we'll be moving on to the next match, which I believe is Steel. Yeah, I mean, definitely pressure on inVision right now.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, it's best of 3 after all, and there are still 2 more maps after this, so I don't think we're quite in the territory of, hey, it's their map pick, just try and survive it. I mean, you can't really do that a lot of the time as a lower seed, so you really are going to be in it to win it a lot of the time. Just one of their map picks, just survive one of their maps, and then you can play on your map and just win the best of 3 in the end. But yeah, it's quite there's quite a lot of fatigue going on, I think, in Highlander. Even early on, there's so many things to look out for, like you said, with those tiny decisions around the cart. Just the esoteric nuances of the payload game mode, It's very difficult at times to really get your focus going in the right spots, and get that coordination.
Focus the objective.
And then we've got Detoed doing a huge high bomb in. He gets a fat stick onto Daegu, but sadly, the other players were completely locked out of that sort of attack wave. And Nova does go down on the cart as well, so nothing happening just yet for the Suicide Wave inVision.
Teleporter is down, but it is being rebuilt. So while the NG's not here, might be a chance to maybe get some pressure on. But at the moment, it's just a bit slow from inVision. They're just kind of waiting, maybe to get all of their pieces on the board in the right position.
And you're just blasting all the rockets away from the gun, right? It doesn't matter if you've got no Clark on the gun if you can't spam it. If you've got a Yahoo on the cart, As the trade comes out here, actually looking, it's quite equal so far, but the positioning is not good here from inVision. But the repush actually, the Poker's on low ground, gets farmed by 2, and Daegu's down as well to Duo. Just spoke too soon there. Actually, the frags are coming out, but again, the counter picks from the side of SDCK are just coming in. Hohei is really far back and safe, so it doesn't really come to fruition in the end there. As they are forced to back out of the first point. I mean, what's going to be a minute and a half, 1 minute 45 for the first point, so it's about average.
Yeah, but the big difference is the fact that Clark is only just respawning now, so he's not going to have potential to have a sentry up. And with Gedu only at 25%, big advantage for inVision here in the Uber stakes. So, you know, that all started off with Chupa getting a backstab on to Kazarok, taking down that sniper. He's getting a lot of focus onto the sniper, and actually, looks like SDCK want to do a forward hold here. They want to stay aggressive, and this, you've got to be careful. If they get caught out by an aggressive Uber from inVision, then, you know, this could collapse onto the third point. But likewise, here it comes in. They're going in deep. Well, they're trying to. They're just being denied by this sentry that's been built. Dwell and Tercio getting thrown into the air, and it's just all gone wrong for them.
Yeah, Drop attempted the bomb, but suddenly the Wrangler made him levitate far more than he'd ascertained previously, and he's completely locked out of that. But Singen does get the pick onto Poker, and the sniper is down Chupa. He gets a 2k, he gets Dago as well. Huge plays coming out here for the hit classes.
It's kind of one of those situations where you think, oh, the Uber's gone bad, and everyone just says, hey, let's just go balls to the wall, let's just commit this.
Just fun.
And now this is sort of, we cast our minds back to that first round where inVision had an advantage and they used it on second. Now we're going to see a situation where they have an advantage on third.
Oh, May.
Or maybe
May goes into Hohei. Like, he would have died if he didn't get that. Like, I mean, it's quite bad to get forced there. But Hohei, like, May's in meat shotting him. He gets a saw, gets that Uber in the end and just forces. But, you know, this Poppy don't put his name in the game. It's just it's sort of reminiscent to me of the previous round when they had trouble like pushing into her because of their disad, but it's only like a 12% disad, so it shouldn't matter too much in Highlander.
Chupa's taken down Kazarok again. Like, it might be a third time in this game. Like, Chupa is just, to play against as a sniper, he must be extremely irritating, and Mezzo takes down Stinger, so both of these snipers just under so much pressure. They both got 23 kills in the previous game. Chupa also got 23 kills, Mezzo got 22, so it's all the assassin classes getting all the kills for these two teams, and obviously that's why the snipers are getting focused so hard. But that car has been pushed up the first slope very, very easily, with very little contest.
Like, it didn't even register to me that they're pushing the cart up a hill because there was just nothing being shot over to it. Like, suddenly this cart is just being creeped up hill. It's almost up the second hill now. Doom just on its own on the cart pushing it, and the Uber comes in, so there's no way they can contest cart for at least another few seconds. Look at them. Yahoo's in no position to deny it either. They've lost 4 players, including Elikor and Poker.
Yeah, Doom is not really doing much other than looking at Sky right now. He's just kind of chilling because no one's contesting him, and that's what happened. 4 minutes first, you won for the first 3 points. Like, like the beat of sweat are going to be starting to form on the SDCK players' heads now, surely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're going to have to claw a few minutes on this last point. You know, you'd think on their second phase of attacking, they would actually, you know, be slightly faster as well. This is what happens as the time goes on in a game generally, but. You know, inVision in a really, really good position here to set a fast time. Well, they are losing some plays. They've lost a lot of plays.
He got his saw out. He got another saw, but just couldn't switch back in time to just press that right click. And even if he had pressed it, like, he had 3 players around him that could have all just like had a bit of a medic body block session going on in there. Like, I don't think he could really much get out of there. But that will count as a drop in his logs. I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Yeah, and Degu with the 100%. Now SDCK are just going to be like, okay, big sigh of relief, let's just chill. Now we don't make any mistakes, we can get a decent amount of time here, and they can just sort of regroup and just, you know, kind of calm things down. But likewise, you know, if inVision, they get an Uber, they get a Force, they get something like that, it could still be a fairly fast time. I mean, anything under sort of 7-8 minutes is towards what we would expect to see a normal time, not really the time we saw earlier. I think it's quite a slow time, what we saw in that first round from both sides.
Oh yeah, like, it took them, like, maybe, like, it took inVision, I think, 6.5 minutes just to get to last. Like, I think that really, like, it ruined their push in the end, like, only having, like, 3 minutes, whilst they were already playing slow. Our Sing actually gets Elikor right away. So there's our opening pick. They can try and get a trade going, but we've got the Kazarok hard opening this window, so he's probably walking through very easily. So the fourth will be hard to attain here, but Tercio just in top, but he has got Jacko the company. And the overcharge does get traded in the end. I believe Dago's down to 20 HP in the end. And inVision are focusing this car, but they haven't really got anybody up to support that. Tuya's gotten the heavy one win against Poker, and I think Dago went down to someone there in the end. But I think getting this advantage is really all they can hope for at this point.
Yeah, they actually got the cart really far. I mean, Oka was pushing the cart all the way around that corner. And then after the Uber, Dito dropped down, trying to sort of sticky off the spawn, but also push the car at the same time. But KANNONEN going down to Stinger, and there is an advantage here in Uber for inVision. They have about a 40% ad, and you take a look at where SDCK are. They do not want to be here right now. They do not want to be on the floor, and this is why.
So you're once again picking up Hook and Shoot comes in and take on Daegu. Ella calls down past a combo wipe, and only the sniper spray and NG up. And this just trying his very best to contest this car here. It's just Kazarok against the world here, trying his very darndest to try and stop this car, but that's just a push. CeeJaey, I don't know what to say about that. They just walked in.
I mean, that's the thing. When you lose that top area, you need to regroup yourself in a more passive hold. And SDCK playing on the floor, maybe just looking and saying, hey, if we get a couple of picks here, we can maybe move our players up to the top and retake that high ground. But they were at a disadvantage, so maybe it was a bit, I don't know, greedy, a bit optimistic to think that they'd have that opportunity. And inVision was just saying, hey, we don't have Uber just yet, but we're just going to walk in now and dry push it. 720 is probably what you more expect to see from players. But inVision setting a time. Again, I mean, we said this on the first round, didn't we? inVision holding for that length of time. It was looking good. They pushed in this time. You know, if they'd done that in the first round, they would have won the first round. But definitely SDCK under a bit of pressure here, but likewise they could come out and just hit us with a 6-minute time.
Yeah,
so,
as you said, like as the teams progress through the gauntlet of the best of 3, they seem to learn how the other team defends a lot better. It's much harder to mix things up on a payload, I think, than say a 5 CP or a COF. So you're going to see a lot more default holes coming out. You can change maybe 3 or 4 individual things on each point, but the times do generally tend to trend towards getting lower as time goes by. So we'll see if SDCK can really shave off 2 minutes from their previous attacking attempt and try and take the second round on the first map. These crit sticks here are going to be a bit of a nuisance to walk through, though. We've got Elikor on his base jumper again, but the crits have been spotted. Elikor jumps in with his nice little parachute out. He gets air shot there, actually. I don't even know what by, something just flew into his face and destroyed him, and that's going to be absolutely nothing from that sack wave apart from the heavy.
Yeah, Tuho was really far forward there, just doing a lot. Actually done Duo as well. Kind of with the headshot, so maybe opening things up for them here.
Checking on his direct hit though, he's going to focus that gun straight away, and it's very difficult with the engineer buffs to actually get that done. Used to be the case that you could spam fast and he's a good tank with the DH, but not so much in the modern game.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the few soldiers that still does go for that direct hit on the first point, and are really trying to take down that sentry. But Daegu is out, and they're losing players here. inVision, they've lost. Stinghan is down, and Daegu is being aggressive, trying to get some heals onto Kazarok, maybe get some free snipes onto people. inVision maybe need to be a bit more proactive with their Uber because they're getting stuck into a corner.
Oh, absolutely. This is the one piece you don't want to be on upward first. We've got fond memories of just medics dropping to just butter knives and buffalo steak heavies and just spam in that corner. It's very difficult as a medic because you just sort of back against a wall, and it can actually work out with the person's attack. You can pick up your health pack, and he does get forced again by the spam coming onto his pyro. And then there's just a pyro coming in right now, but there's no spam on his sentry. Doom is just keeping this gun alive. There's barely any pressure on it. Stinger has gone down though, so I'm sure this must be the key for inVision to leave.
Yeah, I mean, the cue for me would have been the fact that Detoad was not alive and on a 20-second respawn, but they have managed to get all the way out. But the fact that they lost so many players, they lose Doom quite late on there, and the fact that Stinger also died, you take a look at where SDCK are now, they're already all over second. They can't contest second now. This is not impossible to push out from. They can maybe contest it from Car a little bit if they get some picks from Stinghan, something like that, but I don't think inVision really want to risk it. We've
got Mezzo lurking on Roller Coaster as well here, and no one CMD cloak. Oh, but he falls off. Oh no.
Almost the med pick there, almost.
He just jumps up and just slides off. Doing his little yee down the slide there. Oh dear. It's quite unfortunate, but that little clip rush there has meant that inVision's medic will survive to get Uber charge here. Let's hold this further. Look at this angle Stinger's playing here. He's playing this quite aggressive angle on the sheet metal here. Just waiting for anyone to come up. I think no one will in the end though, so he's going to go back. And we got Chupa just hiding cloaked and dagger in forward spawn here, seeing what's happening with the push. You never know, he might get lucky and come out and get a pick, but in poker he's not really turning around too much, he's only checking for sticks.
I mean, this is kind of just a bit. Everything's slowed down a bit. I mean, SDCK had the momentum, but they're aware that they need to get some picks now. This is the third point. They're trying to focus the car. They have just over 4 minutes to go. Chupa has been found out, and Stinghan is alive. They do have an Uber here, And I don't know, inVision not really blocking cart.
There's like a mirror of the last round. No one's contesting this cart. We're just got a slow push coming up here, and they lost their soldier, lost their sniper, lost their spy. Like, this is looking quite good here for just a trade coming out here for the side of SDCK. Unless Tertio denies his entire route, we're not sure if he can do too much here.
It's a big ask. He pushes.
Dagu's so close to being in the pit. Oh, but yeah, we won 4 in the end, and look at this re-push from SDCK. They're doing so much damage, getting all these frags here. Oh, that ball has gone into the pit though.
The little crack, it's just why does it exist?
Like, you can't escape out of it.
There just to send you back up. That's what be my addition.
Can we have like a Halloween trampoline now? Would love that.
Yeah. But just over 3 minutes, it's taken them about what, a minute and a half to go from second to third.
Destruction in main though, like what happens? Like they just walk in and just suddenly get deleted.
They maybe should have tried to. I mean, they've got the high ground here, but they've not got everybody that they would really like up there. inVision
are very vulnerable right now. Like, everyone's half health. They're just sort of cheering out and under. So you like gets a 2k though for his troubles, and he's still alive somehow. But look at this. It's sort of like a raw reversal here. How we have the blue team on top and the red team underneath.
Yeah, they're just kind of trying to make sure they get an Uber here, which I think they will. So it is equal Ubers, but SDCK, if they take a trade now, it'll be pretty good for them. They're getting a lot of cart time for free. They've taken down the sentry, and they've actually been forced earlier on here inVision, so this is a much better Uber for SDCK. They're forcing down Tertio.
Yeah, I don't know why they left the cart there. Like, no one was looking at the cart. Oh, but it doesn't really matter in the end as the med and demo pick coming from window room from Elacor. Just farming those ticks onto the floor there. Poker right now is just sitting in the heavy slot with Dago. He's chilling. We've got Chuba through drop down though. He does get the stab. And there's so few people up here for inVision. Like they get the counter picks for Elacor, but the positions that they're having to go into to get these picks makes cart very vulnerable. So it's going to be a bit of a tall order here for them to actually defend this. They've got Disad as well, even if they've got time to get a new charge here by the time the final cart push comes. And there's so many picks going down for the side of SDCK. I mean, look at the people who are up right now. There's only really the heavy and the soldier ups to deny this cart. We've got Stingen like taking pot shots at people. There's just, there's only so much to do from that angle. And the cart deniers have gone down. There's a lot to really Stingen and 2 to just kill the entirety of SDCK. They are doing a pretty good job of it so far. Lots of done on the cart, but they eventually will fall. SDCK will actually take that second round.
Yeah, take the second round and the map. So their map choice going in their favour after, I have to say, a couple of scares. Taking a fairly long time to push that first round and getting pushed on quite fast in the second round. But again, just showing that when they're on their backs up or against the wall, they're able to come back and actually get it done.
Your predictions come true as well. We've got a 6-minute time.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens. You kind of, when you're in a situation and you know what you have to do, it's like, okay, we need to hold for 10 minutes or we need to push in 5 minutes. You just kind of, you get focused and you have to do it. And that is what separates, the really strong teams when they just really, in those clutch situations, get it done. And inVision, they're unfortunate. A couple of plays, Duo got like 3 or 4 kills trying to defend that cart. Tuco was in a really good position. Stingan was just popping heads, but there's only so much you can do when you're 3 versus 9. You can get a couple of kills each, and there's still going to be players left over to try and push that cart. So in the end, just getting overwhelmed. And we're going to be moving on to Steel now.
Yeah, I was quite surprised actually the fact that Steel wasn't instantly banned in a playoffs game of Highlander.
Much less. The last time it was played in a Highlander final. I don't remember.
Must have been like the Russians, surely, last time that was played. Like, it's been played in quite a few semi-finals, but a grand final, we're going back maybe 5 or 6 seasons to the Steel Grand Final in Prem. I'm not sure, unless there's been one I'm just forgetting or memory hold, but
yeah, I remember playing it in season 9, but after that, I'm trying to think. I don't think maybe it was picked as like a final pick and didn't get played, but I don't know. But looking at the logs for Upward, as we just close off that first map, it is in fact Kazarok top fragging in the game, 39 kills. 2 are actually second on the team with 36.
It's surprising, he's completely outclassed Poker there. I mean, he's got 5 less deaths, 11 more frags, and the damage a minute is still the same, but I think when you're getting cleanup as a heavy, you don't really care about your damage that much if you're getting that many frags. I mean, 2 a lot of the time would just get 2 or 3 kills on his own since a lot of situations, just solidify a lot of the defenses going on there, so you're always happy when your heavy's top fragging on your team. Certainly, it means you got the good coordination. It means you're calling all your damage. I always say, the janitors of Highlander are definitely the scout and the heavy, just cleaning up those classes.
And, well, something that's opposite of a janitor, just the absolute hitman, is the spy. And Chupa there, just 1 kill behind his teammate on 35. I want to see the med picks here, because we got 5 on Chupa and 4 on Mezzo. So those were the 2 highest medic killers there. But you just take a look at the damage as well. Over 400 damage coming from Dito there, 440. Elicor just reaching that 400 mark. But I think there's not really much we can say there. We can see players doing a lot. Yahoo getting a lot of kills, showing what a good pyro he is. But when you look at the team stats here,
I was surprised actually. Cool. I was surprised how like Daegu died 6 more times than Hohei there. Like to die six fewer times as medic on a losing team, it doesn't happen that often. We'll just say that much. Like it means that you got sometimes better protection. Maybe there's a few more hero plays coming out. But I mean, granted the stats are a bit skewed because of pre-game, but. I mean, if we just assume that Hohei, we'll take away 3 Ubers from Hohei for his pre-game Ubers, maybe. So we'll say that he got 4 more Ubers than Daegu, maybe 4 or 5 more Ubers.
There's like the situation on the first round where they kind of wiped the team.
Yeah.
And it was just Hohei and I think 1 player, and they Ubered and, they held on to their Uber sort of thing, or they Ubered and got out. Like, it's situations like that where you may survive in the situation, but your entire team has died, so it may have been better for you to have used your Uber and, died with your team or something.
I have been corrected as well by the almighty Wiethoofd. Setup Ubers are no longer counted in logs. So, those 6 deaths translated into 7 more Ubers.
So there we go. I mean, there were the Kritzkrieg ones, so...
Yeah, but those are all pre-game, really, though, aren't
they? Those are pre-game
the
ones, so that's probably something that counted in it. But
no, but the 7 minigun charges do.
Yeah, that's understandable.
6 deaths, 7 Ubers. Like, you'd be happy with that. It's sad how it couldn't be converted into just round wins. Like when you're popping off 7 more Uber charges than the enemy team's medic. Like you normally think that you're going to get a high conversion rate, but it was a very close round, the first one. But I think SDCK really found their footing in the next round of attacking.
Yeah. I mean, you take a look at how close it was. 236 kills for SDCK and only 225 for inVision. So we're only talking about 11 kills difference. But a map that doesn't really care about your kills, doesn't really care about your damage,
doesn't care about logs at all.
Doesn't care about logs at all. So you just throw the logs out the window. We're on Steel. This is inVision's pick. It doesn't surprise me that they picked it.
Yeah.
I mean, SDCK traditionally have been a good team on it, but I think the number of players who've played it a lot.
These last few seasons, though, inVision have really been honing their Steel. They've been loving Steel every time it's been played. Like, we saw stupid things, like... I'm pretty certain, did inVision have a good innings against Strong Opinions on Steel recently? I'm not sure.
A couple of seasons ago, they did. They did get a round of us. Yeah,
yeah, they've been beating or getting rounds off top teams on Steel for a few seasons now. It's one of their they've picked it, so clearly it's up there in their top maps. But I think we saw I know it's UGC, it's a bit different, but we saw the inVision, I believe they won Steel again. It was either Failer or SDCK's UGC team in the playoffs game a while back. So we could see anything happening here. I mean, Steel is the wild card map. I mean, teams normally ban it because it's just like, it's like when Gravel Pit got removed because people complained about, it's a bit snowbally. You make one mistake on the B point and suddenly you've just lost the game. Your med drops to something like stupid, or you lose a lot of players and you're forced out. I've seen so many situations, like both playing and like spectating, when one med pick on B, like one drop at the wrong time, just means that you get from there you get E in about 1.5, 2 minutes. It's ridiculous how if a team's got their coordination game down, like how you can just snowball Steel. Like from something that's completely safe on B, you just snowball straight away with one medic pick.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. There is a lot of pressure on a map like this, and we do see highly coordinated teams.
Can we get the cam on Kazarok, please? Professor Kazarok has equipped the weapon. His favorite Steel weapon. The Professor has his bow and arrow.
See now, I've seen some this used to be a bit of a meme. Like a while ago.
Because the entire map's a corridor, isn't it?
Yeah, but it has been working well for some players, and we'll see SDCK pushing first. And
I've got flashbacks now to Cloudy and Prem Grand Finals and upward with the Huntsman 5K.
Oh yeah, he marks that map. I think the Steel Huntsman goes a bit further. But hey, it might be a while before
this angle.
See Huntsman everywhere.
Kazarok just trying to get the scout down.
There was a match in the Nations Cup where I did see someone use. I can't remember who it was. Someone can probably remind me in chat, but just the Huntsman being spammed down this corridor on B, and the person doing it was getting a lot of kills with it. It was just annoying to deal with because you run into that corridor and you're pretty much going to get a headshot.
The hitbox is just the size of Jupiter, so. You can
just look at SDCK right now. Look at the
Crit 6, they have taken down the Professor. That's the pick you want. you know, that's push over, I think, no Huntsman. But they've actually...
Dickmann knows, he's got stickies there, like, inVision,
they've gone straight drop down with their gun, look. Like, they've been forced very early, though. They've been forced to flash like 3 people, and Clark is building up his sentry, and the counter Uber does come out. But look at Senile from you. He's doing so much work to split his Uber apart and getting people away. And he's getting farmed by the gun afterwards, like the demo man is for Red Team. Suddenly, it's a messy fight, but the heals are on the side of SDCK, so it looks like it is going to be a big advantage for them going into the next point. And the respawns, I think, on Steel really do just demolish your defense a lot of the time. Like, you can get anywhere from like 18, I've seen like 26, 27.
For that victory there was partly as a surprise factor, and actually inVision are trying to contest this. This may be a bit of a mistake. Backstab comes in, they are in the cart, but I'm not sure why they're trying to do that, because they may get locked out of spawn if they continue. They are rotating
in the end, but I don't know. Like it's a bit of a, it could be like a bit of a gamble play.
That was a ballsy move. I don't think that was the risk reward there was not really in their favor.
Was that a crack shot just from staying there? Like,
just watching down PC connector, and again we talk about individuals stepping up at the time.
I'm not sure how much it will matter though. Like they've taken out Elicor again, but look at the frag. There's only 3 left alive. 4 left alive. Sorry for. Oh my! Oh no! He just goes into Jackie and just gets 2 Uber saws, and just he gets forced in the end, but he just saws him twice. Like, well, what's going on, CeeJaey?
It's a bit chaotic. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is favoring SDCK because they're getting a lot of pressure onto the E point, and they have control of the BC connector.
Oh, Dito, he's doing the axe trap. He's in toilet, just putting 6 on the crate and trying to deny point. But the SDCK have gone. They've on Cena. They've completely bamboozled the rotation out of the side of inVision, and now they're just connected really with like a stack on C. And you know, the C is a very important point. Once you cap that, the bridges do come up. You can get any class onto the E point, and it's pretty annoying to deal with as well, because like Sticky will bounce off those bridges, so it's very difficult to spam them when they're crossing. But yeah, like that was a very good rotation there from SDCK. They just completely baited inVision. I mean, like we normally see inVision doing this kind of stuff on Steel. Like they'll bait a rotation out and just like do the point. But I think this is inVision's most comfortable place holding up on Steel. Like they'll just sit in White Room and only deny the cap. They'll just deny the cap as much as they can, not do anything else basically.
Dwoke getting a couple kills there. Kazarok and Clark going down, and this Uber exchange looking not that great for SDCK right now, but Tuka is trying to stay alive. He's not going to win the fight against Yahoo. And you just take a look at the pressure here from SDCK. They're already all over the D point. They're getting some pressure down. Dito needs to stay alive here, and he's getting the beam to try and put out as much damage to deny these choke points.
Yeah, so and Dwoke getting caught out as well in the mid forward spawn.
inVision so just can't recruit it.
Oh, if Kazarok could hit that.
Dito though, Dito takes down Degu. He takes down a whole bunch of people. There's so much damage done, but there's still only 4, and the players he's killed have already respawned. So
yeah, instant respawns is always good as the attackers, you know. It's quite fun, you know. You just die and then you're suddenly back in the fight. You teleporter. It's why the teleport AE strat is so strong, because you got like 25-second respawns versus instant respawns, and this cap is just slowly creeping up. And I reckon inVision, if they really want to contest it, they want to try and go BC connector. They've already got Draw in there, just spamming this point as best as he can. But they are opting to go White Room, I believe, with the heals. I don't think this is the right play, because it's only really a scout per company, and Yahoo can just blast them all away. They're wasting valuable cap time here, and the spy is in the pit. But he's the trooper's just burning to death in the pit there. And yeah, I think that was a big mistake coming out there from inVision to choose to try and contest from the DE connector and like then panic and go White Room, because it's just they're really easy corridors to just like sightline that you have to commit to in order to get there. Like there's just so much going on that you just can't defend against. Whereas if you're in connector, it's like it's easier to back out as well. It's harder for them to cross off to you. But I mean, if it's just that tiny bit of time at the end there, like you are going to panic a little bit. I'm surprised actually that we're on crit stickies as well. I'm surprised that no one's used the old Scott resistance strategy that was sort of pioneered by a certain caster here in Dito a little bit. I saw
yeah,
Dito
I mean, I think it works, but
it's pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
Unfortunately, if you get a scrappy fight afterwards, you kind of got sticks to take up a second to arm, so it's always sad. But we did see Dito like kind of farm with it last season. Like he just put his Scottish resistance sticks inside the connector in the White Room, and it's a very annoying thing, because you sort of go with one group of sticks, you think, oh, he's dead, it's sticks, and then there's a second group of sticks just to add. a lot of, well, melancholy to your push.
I mean, for 4 minutes and 40 seconds, basically, inVision have to push this, and I think, on the face of it, that's a pretty fast time from SDCK, and inVision definitely are under a lot of pressure here. But we know how much they like this map as well, and it's not out of the realms of possibility for them to just do exactly the same, go for an AE push.
Yeah, I can see the AE coming out. Like,
and I know Jorge's already on AE. He's just,
I know
just
SDCK
going.
did sort of pioneer the teleporter in Heaven, the AE push, but I mean, it has been a while since they've had to really pull it out against a team that's, you know, of inVision's steel caliber, so to speak. So we're seeing what they try and get through here, but the crit sticks, no one spotted the crit sticks on the shutter. If he just dets now, he gets the med. Oh, I think that was luck more than anything.
Degu goes down.
Jorge didn't. Oh, Degu as well. Like,
yeah, Chupa got backstabbed. So big advantage for inVision here. This, like you're talking about, one mistake from a medic. You know, if you drop that Uber, it can be pretty difficult.
It's smart as well. They've realised, despite this drop, they haven't got the player advantage to go through White Room, so just opting to go for a drop down. They get forced very early here. Who's denying, but the gun is sapped, so this might be the saving grace of their push here. Remember, no counter of the side of SDCK to really push back in with, and they're losing so many players. But Jackie Legs right at the end there with Blackbox and Conch has taken down the medic. And we do have a lot of poker. He takes that teleporter into the top, but he didn't really do too much after that. There's been a bit of a farm there, but unfortunately Singen does get the headshot. And despite this chaotic double med frag gameplay we have actually got, thanks to the long respawns on the side of SDCK, inVision have actually taken this B point more or less. Look at these frags as well.
It's taken them time though. I mean, they've got some pigs here.
They've got no sniper. They could just take an extra. That's what they're going to try and do here. If they can take down like the people in spawn here, like there's a bit caught here. SDCK, they're kind of forced to, but they're not going to contest it in the end. They could have locked them out and forced them into iron in the end. I think they're just maybe they think the ad's bigger. inVision do. Maybe they think the ad's bigger than it actually is. We know a fake will coming out from Negu as well. They dropped Dickmann to the heavy there, so it's a bit slow with the push. And Yahoo gets reflect piped by Tertio. Oh.
Yeah, it's never nice to die to your teammate's pipe.
Especially if you're firing yourself.
Yeah.
The revenge quits on Doom. He takes down Clark. He takes down me.
They've got 5 picks here. There is equal Ubers.
They need cap time on E right away here. Like, there's no gun stopping them. If they just bait this E point, Jwoad like sort of tries to jump to heaven but failed. He shouldn't be trying to get to heaven. They should be trying just to get some cap time. You can jump heaven after they've got people on there. Like, there's no point doing it unless you've got like they've got this Organ Uber exchanger connector as well. Demoman is getting body blocked though. Helicore is stuck. And Diga goes down to the Enforcer of Chupa. Like, this is a bit of an unorthodox way of doing it, but they're getting these picks. And they're going to get, I think they're opting to get this C rather than get any cap time on E, because, you know, if you can get a good C, put those bridges come up, it's much better.
The big thing about C is the fact that, you know, you get instant respawns once you've got C, and the enemy team has like 20 to 25 seconds. They're getting people on E as well, though. Because Dwo's in heaven fighting Jackie Legs, actually wins the fight, and actually takes that way as well.
Oh, he's so weak, though. But yeah, he is holding the fort up in heaven there. I think he's on the battalion as well. He's got a little bit extra health there. You know, so every point on 20 HP. But the cap time is creeping up slowly on the E point here. There is spam on it, but Joe has got that heaven. He's like taking a fight with poker here, but he will die in the end. But there's so few players up. They're only just getting their respawns in for SDCK. If they just get these bridges up and start walking across, the second thing they're going to do, they're going to Uber and do a bridge jump here. I mean, we have seen people get hunted into the pit on those bridge jumps in the end, but not today. Kazarok is on a respawn, and I think is it CeeJaey?
I think this might be it. Less than a minute to go, but
there's the final push here in the end, but the heavy's on the point. There's a spy on the point. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's the round to the side of inVision. Really good response, I think.
I mean, I'm seeing a pattern so far. We've seen 3 rounds of Highlander so far today, and each round, the first kind of phase, we've looked at a team and been like, oh, they've done really well there. Like, you know, they're putting themselves in a really strong position, and then they get kind of countered by the other team. The other teams just come back. Yeah, it's doing better. I mean, Kazarok, with only 7 points there, running the Huntsman, I mean, I'm not sure if he's just memeing about, or whether this is a legitimate strat.
I think the problem is, CeeJaey, is because he's got the Heart Layla in his name, he hasn't got enough characters to put Professor in. If we go do a meta-analysis of all the cards, if he's got Professor Kazarok, he always gets like 5 Huntsman headshots in a row. But he's not called Professor. Like, if they haven't rated up yet, like, just someone message Kazarok, put Professor in your name. I think you'll start winning.
Is that bias I hear? Trying to...
Well, no, I just want Kazarok to get more points, dude. Like, we've got Stingin on the 20 points here and Kazarok on the 7 points. Like, I know, like, you know, Steel doesn't care about your logs or your feelings, but you know, the sniper, that sniper is one of those classes of Steel that can make or break holes a lot of the time, and if your sniper's getting less than half a score of the other one on Steel, he's either getting completely locked out or the other sniper's just farming. So it's quite difficult a lot of the time, like that one pick, that one little pick can just do so much.
I mean, that pick that Stinghand got onto Daegu there on the BC connector. Yeah, that could have been so much worse for inVision on their defense. And you just think if SDCK had pushed in, you know, a minute faster, then they would have actually won that round. So, you know, we'll have to see what they do this time. But it will be inVision attacking first, and then SDCK will try to beat the time. So maybe that kind of swapping of halves will maybe give SDCK a bit of time to kind of think about what they want to do for their attacking phase this time around. But I think inVision will just be telling themselves just more of the same, you know, just keep doing what they're doing and see what they can do. And yep, Kazarok is still on the Huntsman, trying to get those fire arrows and just launching them down that corridor.
I think
and
he gets sniped instantly by Stinger though, no buff on him. But I think we're going to see like this double-edged sword hit. Like, it's ABBA, so you're attacking twice in a row. I mean, you can, like, maybe they were expecting different things happening, so they're actually changing it up. They're going to mount a straight B push here from the looks of things. Shohei is already just trying to hit the balcony up here. I think if you're expecting an AE push, you're going to put more resources into it, but SDCK, they're not falling for that. We've got the Bonk Scout going in, taking all the sentry spam, but unfortunately they just can't work people in here. Trooper's been spotted, who will get instantly deleted by the sentry in Elikor. But, oh, Daegu gets dropped by Singen! Just a full body shot for a drop down. That's a Singen play right there. We've seen him do that.
I've dropped to that Singen play.
We've seen that so many times from him, just do the fully charged shot for drop down. And look at that. They didn't have any space on D there for a solid like 30 seconds, and then within 10 seconds of that drop happening, they just already capped B. That is the power of the one hero play on Steel.
It is a pretty big deal, and Kazarok is still down, so no sniper. They may decide to just rush this BC Connect. They have an advantage, 65% in the bank, and you take a look at where SDCK are. They're playing very passively on C. They know they have the disad. They know they can't really contest this, you know, right in front of that doorway. And I think inVision here, they want to get this C point. They want to get, and actually Kazarok is onto the default sniper rifle now. So the Huntsman experiment has gone out the window and does get to their Sting also goes down.
Professor has changed hypothesis actually as Mezzo bringing out his Evolver DM. They're taking down Singen and Tertio. Just quick shots there, taking them both down. Battalion has been forced out from the side of Joe in BC Connector, but nothing's going to come of it after all, because there's no one really with him. They have still got the Uber advantage. If they go now, they could maybe just get the drop on Daegu, but they aren't being in a position to do it. Busy with this gun.
I think they want to rotate through BC and maybe try to get some time onto E, which is the go. Hutke's trying to do it. Clark has a sentry, but it's slowly getting taken down by Duo.
Yeah, I feel like Duo should have tried to take Kevin a little bit earlier then, because I know they were trying to get the gun wrangle, but it sort of slowed down their C push a lot. Like, if you kill the NG and you're not letting him rotate, like, they're sort of playing a reverse Russian, like the old Kitty play. SDCK, how Kitty would have their engineer on C, who would call the rotations with his gun, but now they've got their engineer on E, who's called the rotations, and now suddenly they're taking the BC connector area. But look at the positioning here is all over the shop. Like, I'm not really sure where anyone's really going, but the Pattern inVision are going to frag. They're taking down 4 people.
Yeah, they take down
Daegu and Yard. No, they just like walk into connector. Like, Tuya just M1s with his scout into connector, and yeah, that'll do it. But look at this. They're just hiding around the corner and just denying this cap slowly. Like Poker and Jackie there, just holding the fort on C, just being the fawns in the side of the attack of inVision. They've got a lot of cat time, like, starting out on E now, very slowly but surely. And they're forcing the rotation in through the side of Heaven. Jackie Legs has been farmed by Trooper though, and Clark and Mezzo down as well, so there's no pick classes for another 2 seconds. Kazarok does on the respawn, and might have to just try and go White Room here, because they're losing so many players to the pick classes.
They're getting the simultaneous caps down. They have to go for E here, because if they lose E, they lose the round, or they lose the, you know, this half of the round, I should say.
Dodging and weaving on this point, so Kazarok can't get a shot on him. The amount of cap time it's going, I think they're going to have to get this cap right away. They're forcing them to jump across. And now the C point has been capped. It's a wipe. It's a complete wipe. There's nothing they can do about his cap now. It's going to be like a 4-minute time, some 4 minutes for inVision.
There's battalions on the point as well.
Like, you can't even get a headshot. There's nothing you can do about that.
3:57, under 4 minutes.
They're like almost a minute faster than the SDCK attacking time.
Yeah. I mean, it's less kind of the the time, I would just say it's the way they did it. They just really
they just perfectly locked out SDCK there. Like, I think this is just a thing I said earlier. inVision just seem much more comfortable playing around E. Like, just as attackers or defenders, like they've just mastered the art of locking out everyone from E to a very large extent. But I'm not saying their B plays bad. It's just they heavily relied on that Sting and pick to really get an opening up on B. I know it's quite a difficult point to attack a lot of the time, but it's just you see the different levels of play from inVision. They ascend when they start getting onto E. They don't need those power picks from like their pick class because they just lock people out and get the picks that way.
I mean, they were just holding down the right places. They were holding down the chokes. Every time the spawners were coming, they were either getting backstab, headshot, or spammed, and unable to really commit to blocking the point.
I'm liking the little conversation of voice commands that Joel 2 were having there at the start, just looking through the wall. Maybe talking about the train, who knows. I love TF2, dude.
I think SDCK definitely have it within them, though. I mean, we've seen some good AE pushes from them here, so...
I mean, they pioneered the teleporter AE push in Heaven. Like, if any team can beat a 4-minute time on Steel, it's definitely SDCK.
It does look like they have their medic on A. They do want to go for the AE push, unless they're going to just roll it down and do what they did in the previous round and go for that drop-down push, which was actually very successful. You know, dropping that sentry down and taking the trade, they did actually win that fight on B quite successfully.
There's the minefield of quit sticks here, but Dito has been sniped by KazRok. There's their opening to just roll straight through to Heaven with their engineer. Actually, they're choosing not to him. They're going to put it in White Room. They'll be opting for... He's on Space Reg. Again!
Stinghan with the drop onto Dagger!
Again, just... Oh, Stinghan's just getting these body shots onto the meds every time. And now that it's ad for the defenders, they can just choose to, like, again, kill the cap and use the Uber through to just farm the people. And look at these picks that are going down for them. This White Room push is over if they can kill this gun. They've got on the heavy. This gun is sapped as well. Like, the White Room push has just been completely night. It's just Clark up and Diggs a respawner. Wow, okay. There's the E control we were talking about from inVision.
Yeah.
Like that one pick as well for either team, like that med pick it was the cue for them to go in. KazRok does win the sniper fight against Singen though, but I'm not sure.
They have to take the Uber.
Yeah.
That's like, it's equal Ubers because Jorge used the Uber defensively and the respawns on Steel are that fast, and it does look like they go for E. They're just sending everybody over to E right now. Stinghan is dead.
Yeah, I think they realised that they would have to get a good trade on B and wait for that Uber. But they just have to go E now, I think, because they've already got their players there. Ubers are exactly equal at this point, so it's so difficult to get anything done on B. And they're looking down their spawn door, but again, inVision, they're playing it smart. They're not committing to anything, they're just trying to kill people to get on the point. Because if you're a defender in the qualifying now, you don't really care who's up. You don't care what territory they have, who's up, as long as there's no cap time. And
as long as Tercio is alive, he can just deny this Uber. And actually the Uber's going to come out, they're going to get the force, and they're getting juggled around. And that's not really what SDCK want, because Doom is wrangling that sentry, and they can't get onto the point.
Helicor's been poof into the pit by the Pyro class, so no more spam going into character for a while now. I think, Tercio is still alive here. There's a spy on Oe, though. Oh, he gets a saw. And Helicor's in the pit again, and so is he. And Dago's dead to the pipe. Like, I hate to, call things prematurely, but I think this could be another round here for inVision. Like,
I mean, it takes over 40. It takes what, 43 seconds?
Yeah, 43 with times 3. Like, 48
and there's no one on the car, so they have about 30 seconds to get people on the point.
Yeah,
and when
payload
you don't have any other
steals,
points,
CeeJaey. I want that to be a map. Like, you've got like 5 carts going into the final terminus of E. I want that so much now. Someone made that map. But look at the control that inVision have here. Like, they would have to have times 3 on the cap forever in, like, they've got 6 seconds to get times 3. And they're 4 people alive. I think it's safe to say we are currently in the dead time of CP Steel.
And it's going to be a very swift and crisp 2-0 for inVision.
This complete control of just the White Room area and the connector area from inVision. Like, SDCK aren't ready for it. I think because if they maybe had a much better chance if they would just try to get Renji into Heaven. Because you've got that high ground, you've got the teleporter up. It's not as good to attack from White Room because you've got that entire sightline cross. You've got the Pyro to deal with as well. But I would maybe like to see a bit more pressure on B as well. Like, even though they only had like 2 minutes left. A bit more pressure on B when they moved that gun across, but again, like, what good would it have done when they had to go for E with that 2 minutes left? It's just, it's a very... Steel's a very, psychologically pressuring map when you have that 2 minutes and the E. Like, you think we haven't really got time to rotate at all. But now there you go, that will be, as you said, the swift 2-0 for inVision. Really good response to that upward loss there.
Well, I mean, inVision knew exactly what to do. when the timer hit that moment, they knew that SDCK had to commit for that E point, at a certain point. And as long as Doom was wrangling the point, the only people who can get on the point are people like the Soldier, the Scout, easily killed by the Wrangler, and the Uber was used proactively by inVision. They pushed out from the connector, knowing that Yahoo was dead, so they couldn't be airblasted around. They forced the Uber, and that just meant SDCK couldn't use their Uber to deal with the sentry. So Doom was just standing there wrangling for days, and just got it done. And inVision, I would say, after pushing SDCK quite close on the first map, on their map pick, they've come and taken this very, very comfortably, I'd say. And I think, I don't know, a bit of a shock to the system for SDCK. With, third map, it could be anyone's.
I know we said that Steel doesn't care about your locks that much, but I just want to bring attention to the fact that, Dwo and Dito are the top damage, and Dwo's gone 22-9. He's just farming that flank on Soldier.
He's so,
Dito's 27-12 as well. They're keeping their spam classes up. Those maybe medic deaths and spam classes are the two things that are really going to be consistently mattering on Steel most of the time. Mm-hmm. As long as you're getting those frags as spam classes, it means you're doing your job. Especially Soldier, control flank, control the universe. But what I really want to highlight, most of all, I said medic deaths. Hohei has 3 deaths to Daegu's 11. And that's translated into 9 more Ubers coming out.
I think
on him.
A lot of the deaths, though, a
lot of them were just those scrappy fights. It's a combined log.
But there was about 2 or 3 deaths from Daegu right at the end there when it was dead time. So if we take those off, it's fairly equal. But I think it's less the difference in the deaths and more
it's the
drops.
Assists. Look at the assists. I think Daegu a lot of the time was just separated from his team when they just couldn't get these picks. The dichotomy of the assists here, you have 31 assists for inVision's medic and 8 assists for Daegu, or for the side of SDCK. We can talk about the deaths afterwards as well, but look at the assists. It's 31 assists for Hohei, and the closest to him is Jackie Legs on 12. Mm-hmm. So they're just playing this sort of death ball, around their medic. The person who's getting the picks is the person who has the beam, and that can really make a difference a lot of the time on Steel. I think this Highlander in general, if you're healing the person who's getting the picks and they're staying alive, it means the counter picks just aren't happening for the other team. But anyway, that's enough of Steel. I think now we're on to the final map pick, which is the Gully Wash map. It's the one of 2 5CP maps in Highlander currently. We got Propaganda as well, but I don't think it's been proving too popular of all the bans. That was the first ban apparently, so people don't really want to trust the grand final. You want a brand new map, which you can understand, but again, Gully Wash, this is a map that I think both teams are very comfortable on in many ways. I think inVision, in recent seasons, they've gotten better. They used to be quite inconsistent. They would either 5-0 a map quickly or just get crushed. I haven't really seen SDCK play Gully Wash that much. I mean, we can't really compare much to UGC, seeing as they don't really play 5CP anymore. But
traditionally, looking at my history of playing against SDCK, they were always a team that didn't really ever want to play Koth or 5CP. They always preferred the payload Steel maps. They preferred sort of the stopwatch kind of gameplay. That's obviously, it's hard to compare teams as seasons have gone on because there's been so many players in and out. You have Elacor playing on demo, which is obviously one of the best 60s demos around at the moment. And
I'm thinking that maybe that's why they picked the 5CP, because they have got the fraggers. They've got Kazarok, May, Jackie Legs, Elacor, Poker. He's kind of a running joke between a lot of players now. Poker's got a magical power on heavy, how he can do double damage, double any other heavy's damage of his minigun. I think Tuya as well, to a lesser extent, he's gotten that joke as well. So maybe, do you think that the lack of Sandburn has impacted their ability to really get their streamlined play that we've known it as SDCK for quite a few years now on the payload and Steel maps?
Oh, absolutely. Sandburn is, he is the person who does that main calling. Just last season when with Strong Opinions were playing, it was very much when Amelia was playing, he was the one main calling. He's been sort of the guy who does it for Strong Opinions. Sandburn's been the one who's been doing it for SDCK. And when Sandburn played for us last season as demo a couple of games, he was the guy that does the main calling. And we just sort of, follow that direction. I think that's really hurt them on Steel maps. Maybe that kind of Highlander knowledge of the map has, not been there. for the demo when you have Elikor playing. Obviously, insanely skilled player, but maybe doesn't know these cheeky traps and stuff like that, and the rotations that maybe Sandburn could have offered the team.
On Zeal as well that are very good on the point. Like you saw Dito getting those, like Dito, like legendary Highlander gamer, like going 27-12 on Steel. Like I think it, it doesn't really matter how good your DM is on demo if you're not in the right position on Steel, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I think like when it comes to 5CP, everyone knows how to play 5CP, you move from point to point. But I do think, that lack of organization, it really depends on how the first few rounds go. If SDCK win a couple of lightning rounds, who knows what could happen. But I think if inVision sort of grind things out, make it awkward for them,
just slow it down.
Then I think, the team fights definitely are going to be really key because you got May, you've got Udka, you've got Dwo, you've got Jackie Legs. Yeah. They've been playing out of their minds, and the pick classes have been getting a lot of kills as well. So
because everyone just seems on top of their game today. Like I'm trying to think of a player who's just been like making like big mistakes often, and I just haven't been seeing it. Like everyone seems to be pretty much just on top of their game.
We'll have to see what happens. We do have SDCK in the blue, inVision in the red. We're just waiting for them to ready up. Maybe they're just talking over plans. They're just saying, hey, cool it. Third map. I mean, I've been on a third map of a grand final a few times, and it does get a little bit tense, especially when, you've just had that sort of adrenaline rush of the second map. And all right, we fought our way back onto the final map. Maybe the teams are just settling themselves down, going for a drink, just looking away from the monitor, just getting themselves into the game and then just thinking, okay, Gully Wash now, let's just face this head on. We know how to play this map. I'm sure they've scrimmed it in the previous week, so both of these teams will know what to expect from each other as well on this map. So we just have to wait for them to get ready. But I mean, who do you think is going to be the big kind of differential between these two teams on this map?
Oh, I think. I know we got like Dwo, who's got his good like little Highlander DM going on there, but I think like Jackie Legs and May are going to be such a fierce flank combo to deal with on Gully Wash, like, especially when they got Elikor backing them up. I think the amount of damage going to come out of these players is just going to be insane. Like you said, team fights were key, and maybe SDCK's team fight is going to be a little bit weaker because I mean if they haven't got the Sandburn call, I imagine that Yahoo will be doing a lot more calls. Like Yahoo and Daegu will be doing a lot more calls during team fights. I mean Yahoo's a very good main caller, but I think he hasn't really got like the strong main caller voice a lot of the time. Like he's got quite a soft voice, and I think that some teams do just need like the big man main caller like Sandburn sometimes. I think
right now it's going to be Jackie Legs talking. He's going to be just solo talking to everyone right now.
He'll be talking loads. Yeah.
He'll be giving them pep talk right now. He'll probably be singing like Baby Shark or something. Like he has a way of diffusing the stress out of situations in a very good way. He's very much like the hype man, and I think that's what he'll be doing right now, just getting them back in the mood. Because I don't think the way that they lost Steel, I think they might be thinking, oh, okay, that was a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, it is a bummer, but I think you got to like sort of tell yourself at that point, like, yeah, it was their map pick, and we haven't got Sandburn. Like it was their map pick. They picked it for a reason. They know that we haven't got Sandburn on the team. Like it's chill. We got 2 map picks in this, and we did quite well on Upward, all things considered. Like after that first round on Upward, SDK reconsolidated their power on that map, and we're much better, I think, as we are going into the first mid fight of the final map of the season 19 ETF2L Premiership Highlander Grand Finals. Dito is going to do. I'm going to watch Dito on his roll out. We're going to go to the default choke. He's fairly quick, but then again, Elikor's faster. He's already got spam going in onto Big Door.
Oka's just pressuring Elikor though. He's not being able to walk out, and Jackie Legs is pressuring Dito, so he actually goes
throws
down.
Throws a drop down actually. He's going to jump from maybe underneath. No, he's going to go underneath in the end. Drop is being watched, so. But the first pick is going to be Tuya, and Jackie Legs goes down as well. But now the picks are coming out. You see, like the one person in the kill feed, the flood comes out for both teams, and looking like SDCK are getting the better end of it in the end. Getting this mid fight, one for them, getting a nice cap time, forcing the rotation coming out here from inVision. They're just going to hold choke here, it's equal. But Utka has taken down Jackie Legs. I think has he been spawn camping? Yeah, he's spawn camping, just Utka, like, he's spawn camping Kazarok and Jackie Legs here. Just, he's stopping the sniper from walking out of spawn, which is kind of huge, really. He's being a nuisance behind. He's drawn Clark behind as well, trying to deal with him. He's got 3 players looking for him here on this second point. He's being so annoying. He's still alive, just being annoying. Like I think at this point, he sort of has to try and ignore him. I mean, we've got Jackie Legs behind on him, but then the fight's going on there. But anyway, back to the nice little nuance of the Gully Wash choke
No, I don't care about that. I want to see who wins this between Utker and Jackie Lex.
This is the one. This is like the longest 1v1, and he gets it. Just rounds the corner, 19 HP. He's still alive, still behind. Oh.
Clark has actually built a mini
that's
on
a mini
seconds
sentry,
to try and deal with him here.
I think that's going to be it for Utker. I think he's just trapped now. He's got to deal with a complete
This is no longer
mini.
a Premiership Grand Final. This is how long can Utker stay? He's going to pistol the sentry. No.
This is Utker just playing just a DM surfer by himself now. This is just
BM.
Oh,
he's got Jackie.
He almost got Jackie in the end there. Utker, like, he's behind there for like the best part of a minute and a half there, just killing people.
I suppose we have to watch the stalemate choke now.
we have to watch the sniper slow peek and choke for the next 5 minutes now. Then.
Big jump in from Jackie though. Jorge's in the middle there. He actually lunges on the ledge. If he had dropped down there, he would have died to full damage, or had to at least use the Uber. But he lands on the ledge, so doesn't have to use.
I'm wondering, actually, we haven't seen a good edge bug in Highlander for a very long time. I think the last one that I saw was like Menti on upward third getting edge bug. Actually, we have Dwog going drop down here, but he's getting locked out by the mini. It's looking like they've lost Daegu. Daegu's just been killed by Viethoofd.
You just get double pipe there.
Yeah,
he just drops. And now, Dwo and D-Toad, I'm going to call them Dwo-Toad because they're just combining so well and just cleaning house. And because of that, they use the Uber, but they also managed to keep an advantage here. So it's going to be about 30% by the time that Daegu spawns. That was with a spiral spy action as Mezzo went down to cheaper as well.
Maybe with Joe and Layla being dropped out of playoffs by the side of inVision, maybe the Dwo-Toad is a new Highlander power couple. Who knows?
It could be.
I ship it. Oh, but Jackie's in. He gets one rocket off, but like he's just safe. He's chilling. He's got like 5 players around him. So SDCK will get nothing in the end. I think more of a desperation play in the end because they got loads of players down for this last fight. I'd imagine
down as well.
Focus down. Yeah, water's free here. They just send their heavy and soldier in water. Like it's so free. Soldier's actually going through main instead. It's just the heavy going in water. But look at this. It just runs straight to the point. Like Tuya didn't even have time to run through water by the time the cap had already gone down. They just rush it. Wow.
Just have Uber. I mean, it's normally I see an Uber situation and I'm getting ready to cast. And I'm like, and they've wiped, because so often we see a pyro or a heavy just tank and then just block it. But 1-0 to inVision on the decider. Whoever wins this map, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the new Premiership champions. So inVision taking the first shot here onto the second mid fight, and SDCK coming out guns blazing, very aggressive here, taking their side, and still waiting for that first pick.
Yeah, Melo's actually running DR, actually. It's an interesting choice for him on this mid-fight. It's just sort of, again, the stalemate again. I think SDCK have got a superior position, so they just push people out of choke, and there's the Franks at the end. This is going to be a last hold, I think, for side of inVision. Like, there's no way they can even get people up top now, despite having the medical life. Look at this aggression coming out. They're already in lobby, SDCK are. They're wasting absolutely no time.
There's no sniper and there's no NG, so they don't have a good setup here in inVision. SDCK kind of want to push now. They want to push.
She just gets trapped on launchpad though. It's unfortunate. But again, like that's time for their respawners to come through. They've already got Tuya just sitting outside water. He's going to get a buffer going water, I'd imagine. But Poker is just he's got his gun up in outside water. He's waiting. His team are just slowly going to creep through. There's no pyro actually. And no pyro on Guy Watch Last is actually quite a big deal at the time because that means that gun goes down really quickly. And now they're doing the exact same thing as rushing heavy on the point. Tuya isn't getting flashed in the end though, and he gets killed by the spy. I'm not sure if that's going to be an issue in the end here. Both medics dying in the end to pick classes. Scrappy fight coming in now. There's only 4 life of both teams, but I think inVision have got this.
D-Toad is like 3 HP, Doom is 6 HP, like not much HP, less than 10 HP between these two.
So the team's got a combined 20 health.
Yeah, and they hold that. I mean, if you could see enemies' health, like in certain other FPSs, then SDCK would have been like, hang on a minute, we've won this fight, let's keep fighting. But because they didn't know how weak the inVision players were, and inVision were able to just say, hey, we're still here, go away, boom.
Just
and SDCK backed off.
The sad life of a heavy main, just pretending that you got 450 when you're on 40. Experienced that one many times. But if it works, it works. They think, oh, big scary men with guns. They die to being breathed on at the wrong angle, but they've got guns and they're scary. So another reset here is actually ad for inVision after that final backstab onto Daegu. So
yeah, it seemed like both medics died at the same time. Like it's Kazarok got their headshot onto Jorge, but Maybe he
Look
died
at
a
this
few
sci
seconds
fight
earlier.
in water. It's just, it's just Chupa just like getting like on top of Mezzo's head when he's clothed, just wondering what was going on.
Just got James Bond music, dun 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 dun, you know, spy on spy action.
It's always kind of cute when spied on each other, I think. Like they do this little dance, like, oh no, we've been found out.
We fight this, or we just, you know, gentleman's agreement, let's back off and make it. They're still around the same area. Stinger goes down though. Stinger goes down, 2-second respawn for him, and Kazarok maybe has a little bit more space here to get an angle on the medic.
Yeah, look, he's peeking water, he's got the dispenser pick, there we go, he's going for a hero shot actually. Hohei is safe behind these pipes, but Kazarok, he's getting spammed so late there. He has been killed by Chupa in the end though, so the threat is over. And Tui is just happily sitting outside water here. And they're going to back out to, I'd imagine, lobby here.
Mezzo takes down Duo.
No launch pad pressure for a while. They've got sticks on there as well, so no one can really contest that for a while. But I think it's just going to be a case of just waiting for that big pick at the end. They're poker down though, Chupa. That's going to open up lobby big time here for Tertio here. He's going to spam those sticks off the detonator. Very annoying weapon to deal with. You put like 5 sticks
banned,
there.
wasn't it?
Only in 6s. It's actually legal still in Highlander. Like
legal? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like just,
I know the
like,
Scorch Shot's banned, but
yeah, Scorch Shot banned because it's a Scorch Shot and no one likes that gun. But we've got the detonator. You can just clear sticky traps as pyro. You know, you put 7 sticks down, just clear out sticky trap. You know, it's pretty fun. Pretty fun weapon to deal with. But we've got the fight going on in River here. Pyros do trade in the end, but it's just. inVision are going to enjoy this because they're just running down this clock. They're round up, 21 minutes to go. They're happy just to sit here and just grind the clock down, as you said earlier.
Jackie's in water. He's gone for a fast roll out there.
He's going to get the drop on heavy here, but he's getting spammed around the corner though, and Jackie's taking barely any damage. Tuya's running for his life with the group into. He's going to beat his Sammy there, but again, that's just and Poker's lurking in water. Poker's going to get Tertio. He's coming up here, just like, look at this slow water push. They're creeping onto it, being a huge distraction. The Uber's used as well, but inVision, they know how to play Gully Watch. They put the Uber straight onto the point, but I think I heard a battalion's go off or something there. It's a banner of some description. And look at this heavy. Poker's just farming the point. He's finally dead, but there's no one left alive to defend the point. It's just the medic. It's medic versus Demo 1 last. Oh, he just doesn't jump. I think he kind of got like deer in headlights for a moment there as he realised he was the only person left alive. I wanted to see more Hohei souls, to be honest. I mean, he's got a few souls earlier, but sadly it was not for him.
If he'd been playing on the point there, it would have scared. I think it would have scared Core off long enough to allow the respawns come in, because the respawns were coming in.
Yeah.
But yeah, SDCK grind out a round. It's now 1-1. On to the third mid fight here.
He catches his teammate catches a pipe, he catches like the splash from it as well, so he's sort of weak coming into the Bernardo area here. No one can really like capitalise on that though because of the distant gold cover, but Elikor first pick down to Chupa. No mini up either, so it's going to be an easy walk across the point I think for inVision, but they're just dropping players once again. It's the double heavy fight, on the awkward heavy fight around the middle of the point here, but the scout comes in and kills him in the end, so again that's another mid fight. Oh, maybe not, it's a happy fight at the end here. But I think inVision are going to play it safe here and keep the medic alive. But,
yeah, I mean, when you lose that many players...
They're looking to contest this actually a little bit, but they got the sniper up. Again, their medic is 70 HP though, so I'm not sure if I want to stay in for too long. The respawns are slightly faster for the side of SDCK. It's going to be another choke stalemate, I reckon.
Yeah, back to where we were before, and remember this is where Dayu dropped to D-Toad, so, I mean 1-1, just under 20 minutes to go. Still plenty of the match, or plenty of the map I should say, as Jackie jumps in, and he gets one rocket.
Yeah, just the classic Gully Wash Highlander hole when we get to sit and talk about how people are just going to be around the corner for 5 minutes again.
Yeah, just waiting for the sniper to maybe get a pick, or the spy, or the soldier, just one of those players to go in and...
Melo's currently in, but I think he's been spotted. Maybe a spam, but I think he's been spotted by Oko, I think, on the balcony. He DR's in. So it's just going to be a case of everyone's on high alert now. Metal Gear Solid style for the spy man. He's got an aggressive decoy actually, but he's been spotted again. Jackie and Elikor use that to try and get through choke, but again, nothing too much coming of it. He's got a nice trap here on top of choke for anyone who's going to try and walk into that, but again, just the Highlander stalemate coming in for Gully Wash. Let's see who's making some space in choke, but again, nothing's really coming of it yet. Just waiting for these power picks to come through. Like a demo, a medic, even a heavy sometimes can make a big door push happen.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Highlander, I mean, in 6s, if you get down a demo or even a force, it's so big as Jorge takes one rocket.
He's lurking in dropdown actually. He's going to jump up to Daegu. He gets one rocket, he gets second rocket, but it doesn't quite connect. He will not get that force off, and both soldiers are down. So none of these cool force plays are going to come out for a while. Clark has died to Trooper, but that's the only real happening here for a while, I think, because again, the stalemate coming in again. There's no people in position to make a play here, so I think it's going to be a case of waiting for someone just to pick a little angle. Stinger's watching ever so diligently there, just trying to get those little hicks coming in. Just people creeping around Choker, avoiding the sightline, doing a little Highlander dance. I think Jackie's going to go for another player here, even though he's mixing space and choke, but but he's been instantly just deaded in the air by Tito there. I think they've come to expect these sacks coming in from choke now, so nothing too much happening. The revenge crits from Clark, but Joy will spam out in the end there. I think both teams just want to park the bus here, wait for things to happen. Poker actually will get taken down there by Uka on the flank. Trooper as well will get domed by Kazarog, so...
I mean, no one wants to really take a risk. I mean, the heavy is down, but what can you really do with that? Jackie jumps in now, trying to maybe get a force, maybe make some space.
He's staying alive for a long time, actually. The Ubers get traded.
Yeah, he's probably going to die here. He's stuck in behind. So they do drop a few players.
Yeah, not sure if that trade was the smartest thing to do. I mean, Jackie was making a distraction, but the Uber was just so poor coming out from it. He's got separated by the Pyro. But I'm not sure if there's going to be a push happening yet though, because never mind, Kazarog's dead. This has to be the push for inVision here once they heal up.
Look at SDCK, they're already out.
we got Tuya. He's got the little Plutus spine when he throws a Risa sandwich. Like it.
Oh,
that's pretty good. I got that. I like Tuya now.
Mezzo's lurking in mid, but everyone else from SDCK just sprinted through big door to rotate around and get there for choke.
Mezzo gets the cut. There's one.
We basically swap sides now. All Wiethoofd have to do is just move the camera from one side to the other. Just watch the other choke now.
Pretty easy job for Wiethoofd right now, to be honest. Really, just sit and choke for a while.
Make a cup of tea. Just leave the camera watching choke. Yeah,
just go to the door if he really wants to. Just put the camera in choke. Want a sniper.
I mean, it's interesting. Like SDCK took the risk. I was talking about no one wants to make a mistake or take a risk. SDCK, when they were heavy down, decided they just want to go in with a Pyro Uber while Jackie was in. He was being a bit of a distraction, made some space. SDCK went in with the trade, and because Yahoo got stuck in, Jackie got cleaned up. It just kind of didn't work out too well for them.
But again, we're really in we're getting towards the critical moment here. We're on the halfway point, just about here. Just over 50 minutes left here. I mean, both teams are going to be really cagey right now, not wanting to drop that ever so important round. One round here really could spell the end for either team's grand finals hopes. This is the side of the map, and Poker's actually been forced into drop down by Sam and the Pyro. He actually gets Tertio though. I'm surprised he actually managed to get that.
Tertio decided, I'm going to finish him off and just jump down. But Kazarog also gets headshot by Stingan, so sniper advantage for inVision. No heavy either. Utka's actually gone in behind. He's doing this flanking strat again, but Dito goes down to Elacor. They're not going to be able to push out. You can see them backing off. That was their chance to maybe take some space, and it looks like SDCK now are the ones that want to get some pressure. Jackie maybe going for a jump, but no.
Actually, Hohei actually been forced with the use through true somewhere. Not sure what's happened there, but there's nobody in for the side of inVision, so must have been a force. The counter pop comes in from Daegu. Tertio's down. Hohei's being chased by his down. May comes in, takes down the medic and takes down the sniper. Big plays coming out. He takes on the scout as well. May just going huge here, getting those quick and easy picks for him, really. But then the counter picks are coming through. They're going for Sax medic here. Daegu! Dito comes in and just pipes him twice in choke. Even with the health pack, no chance of survival there.
Yeah, Duo tried to do it. He was about 15 HP or something crazy like that to the point. Got a little bit of damage onto him, but yeah, Dito with the kill. So they will have an advantage, but with the amount of players they've invested, it's going to be hard for them to do it here. They just need to play it slow and just maybe slow SDCK down here.
I mean, they're doing it. They get Jackie legs. They're just getting
we come back to where we were before, back to square one after the mid-fight.
But this time advantage for inVision, a really 30% advantage is enough on Wash to really do a lot with. I'm sure Mezzo will be calling out his weapons just to his team. He's going for a play, but gets spotted now by the heavy.
Utka's building right now. They know that they have an advantage. They want to make it as big an advantage as possible, and they want to take Utka in because he's been hitting his shots today. They want to scout in the Uber. They're getting ready. They're actually
big rotation
rotating.
Coming out, yeah.
So maybe losing a little bit of that advantage there. And SDCK are aware of this. Look at where they're playing. They're playing in their choke, and they can just kite this so easily.
Just walk out. I'd imagine they want to repush this because no one died. They got Nutka as well, and they're walking straight back through choke. And inVision know this. They got them picked outside of the Uber, but again, the invulnerable players are jumping choke here. Hohei's very safe though. All he's got to do is like bow is heavy, and they can maybe go back in there. They're a lot down for the teams here, but Dito gets stabbed, and just like that, their push is over. They got to go up to last.
It was a really strange
Messes on heavy as well, but heavy does turn around in the end and comes back. But again, the sailing has been broken. SDCK have taken the second point here. It's slight ad here for inVision, but not really enough to worry on last at all.
I'm not sure why they put in all that effort in building to get that advantage as big as possible.
And then they did the big rotation.
And then when they were at 100, they did the rotation. And by that time, SDCK were kind of like, okay, let's make sure we're safe. And
at that point, you'd want to get your damage jumping choke and soldier behind, but they actually use Uber again. They've used their ad again in the river, but they're dropping people. Tertio gets dropped. They've gotten Kazarok really, and Elikor is the only real picks. But look at the flank coming in at the end there, and now SDK got their own Uber. They're just going in onto the point. 2 years locked out of water here by the Uber. He can't do anything to deny this cap. No one's on the point, and just like that, SDCK. I think inVision are maybe getting a bit overzealous here with these ads, taking these really risky fights, and they're getting punished for it. 11 minutes left, and it's 2-1 to SDCK on the last lap of Grand Finals.
That's what people were talking about, risks. Do you think
inVision are feeling the pressure, maybe?
I think SDCK did that trade, and it didn't work out for them. They lost the midpoint, and they learned from that. They're not taking any more risks. inVision are taking more and more risks, and now they have to take risks. Now they're in a situation where they have to. Before, they could have just waited for the enemy to make a mistake. Now they have to do something. Duo is the first casualty on this mid-fight, and it's not looking good for inVision here, and SDCK just currently in control of this final map.
Yeah, I mean, when it's 1-1, you can sort of afford to stay back and wait for things to happen, but when you're one round down, those 11 minutes can tick away very quickly indeed. And Mezzo here in choke will take down Sting, and it's only them. Oh, it's a wipe. Everyone's dead for inVision. Could this be the crumble? Do you think?
This could be the killing blow if SDCK managed to push this into last. Then 3-1 is hard.
If they get around here, I mean, 2 more rounds in 5 minutes, especially because they seem to be getting better as the map goes on, SDCK are. So it's just very difficult for inVision to really get these rounds back. I mean, they would have to get 2 rounds just to force a golden cap. And I think the golden cap really does favour Dickmann at this point.
Yeah, it seems like after that first round, they're actually Ubering in here already.
They're doing the exact same thing, rushing the point. There's no heavy in water. Again, he's in secret though. He gets domed instantly though, and again, that's another round. Straight away, run onto the point. Those fast Ubers just running straight through, using that invuln to get to the point, and no one can get there in time because it was up to the heavy to contest that. But Kazarok knew he was just in river, just domed him in the end. And again, 3-1 is what we're talking about now. There's a huge amount of pressure on inVision. These are the lightning rounds we were talking about, but they're now they're happening later in the game as opposed to the start.
It's like the old one too. They beat him in the long-standing round, and then bang with the quick second. And you see, Woe is really in deep, and actually inVision taking their opponent's side here, being very aggressive on this mid-fight. They've locked SDCK out through the choke. There are players trying to flank around. They are getting kills. Sting actually takes down Kazarok, so
should be the mid-fight.
They've won the mid-fight here, but it's not as dominating as maybe they need it to be. Actually, Jackie is trying to block the point here. He is 4 HP, does get finished off with 2 dies of the century.
This mini is just in the most ridiculous spot. That's so annoying. You don't expect a mini to be just in that side.
I thought my HUD was glitched, but Degu's only on 70%.
Yeah, he's been healing going out. It's really strange. It's happened a few times actually when Degu should have equal or add, but it just peters out. And Mez is actually coming on Detoed. As it has been spotted though, his knife has been melted by the flamethrower of Tertio. So no demo pick coming out for the side of SDCK now. The lobby control has been achieved by inVision. See what they can make with this.
I mean, if inVision win this, it would set up an interesting last few minutes, you know?
Oh, certainly. I mean, well, I thought that was the meta second there, but the Spy's gone down to Stinger. They're putting lots of resources in water. They're taking down the heavy. The water players are weak, though. I mean, I'm tempted to just get some heals back before recommitting to this, but they're choosing to maybe just... Oh, no, they are getting heals in the end now. But May just comes in and cleans them all up.
Trooper, though, gets the drop onto Degu. They've 4 down here inVision. They may want to wait for their
kill Jackie.
But...
No, but look, both teams are 4 people up. They got capital time on the point as well. A big distraction. inVision might No, they respawn's about now. They're going to sit in there. They're going to play it safe. They know they've got a big ad. They can do exactly the same thing the Dickmanns did on the last round. Just rush the point. I mean, inVision, that was how they got their round as well. Just rushing the point with the Uber. I think we do have...
You went quiet there. I was like, oh, no. My computer's crashed.
I thought my game crashed for a moment there. But,
no, it looks like we have a pause. So that's obviously 90 seconds in the future. We're not sure what's happening. But as it stands, 3-1 to SDCK. And like 8 minutes to go, I think, on the clock.
Yeah, like 7:40, 7:45, 8 minutes, something like that. But
and Jorge has 100% and Degu has 7%.
I'm loving this depot trap up here, just on the wall. That's going to be so annoying to walk into. Like, I'd hate to die to that trap, personally. But yeah, they're sort of just like pausing at the most inopportune times. Very unfortunate, I think, for them to pause at that point. I mean, we've got like the exciting... It is 90 seconds in the future after all, but I mean, they got to like think of this. Like, we just got interesting scenarios going on here. We got the Uber coming in to last. We got Wiethoofd just chilling on second point. Not too sure what he's hoping to achieve here, but you know, he's got a soldier jumping him. He's got 3 people looking at him from the big door side and top. It's certainly interesting.
Optimistic, yeah.
Yeah, he's going for it though.
Sometimes you got to be bold. You're just gonna have courage and convictions.
Maybe I'll just call it now and like who gets a 5k. Yeah,
could happen. I mean, I got an interesting Who story. So I remember playing against him in season 10, semi-final. Yeah, when he was on the Bureau, and we had Thalash on Soldier. And the first round, we held the first point of Borneo. Thalash was going, "Oh yeah, I'm so good at Soldier, guys. I'm so good at Soldier." And then the next round, holding first to Borneo, he shoots a rocket. Yahoo reflects it, gets a 3k. We were like, "Right, you're never playing Soldier again." So yeah, don't shoot rockets at pyros. I think it's the moral of that story.
My favourite story, actually, I think, of that game was, remember when it was Bureau, so it was, oh god, it was Cronus on Medic, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Cronus was walking up through Borneo 3rd on a little ramp, and he forces to his own demo's pipes. his demo like shoots pipes behind him, and it's like the Iron Bomber or something, and he just uses because he sees pipes coming towards him.
Unfortunately, I didn't have very many fun stories about Gullywash.
No, I mean, it's Gullywash and Highlander, and Auntie who has not achieved the 5k that we always expected him to get.
He actually reflected the rocket and got some damage on the scout, so he tried his best. But I mean, right now, this is inVision's to lose this round. And they're bringing
people in water. They've been Ubered into water. He's going to take the fight. Oh, Poker just... Tommy versus Minigun will win that fight with, you know, quite a bit of health to spare, actually. I think Poker's getting out his little... double minigun damage skills now. But no, that's a complete fail push coming out from inVision here. And you know, each push you fail at this point is going to just be more time on the clock that you're losing. And
they dropped Tercio as well. They dropped Tercio before the push, so if you don't have a pyro, Gullywash last, having a pyro, just pushing people off the point is so strong. Not having a pyro in that push is really poor.
I mean, you can get the heavy up through water, you can get all sorts going on, like from the other side as well. Like, pyro is it's the pyro class. It's very annoying and does a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think the reason for the pause was Tercia's ping. She was having issues there, but Chuba gets the kill onto Kazarok. No sniper, maybe something for him to do here.
Yeah, a banner has been tooted though. I'm not sure for which team, but Jackie Battalion's coming out now, so. Again, no sniper headshots in this trade here coming out. He's going to use it straight into River, try and get a force maybe. But look, they're all very safe here at that gear. And they're going to go, going to just walk right through River again. This sentry is doing a lot of damage, but the scout's on the point. He's forced like loads of people back in cap time. And maybe if they can get his Uber working, but they were forced early, inVision were. They're just waiting for this Uber to run out from the side of SDCK so they can try and get some frags. Elikor and Poker have been killed though. There's only 4 left live and the sentry gun for the side of SDCK. It's really inVision's chance.
The people for SDCK are on the point. They're actually on the point. Yaku has to do a lot of work here, and Degu goes down to Duper. There's no heals.
2 comes in on the end. This gun is going to just do so much work for this defense. It's just in such an annoying spot. It sees all of the point, and yeah, that will be the push ender for inVision. Just no one killed that gun in the end.
That's 2 big opportunities for them there.
Yeah.
And that's when it starts to... That's when the frustration kicks in, you know, when you know you need to get around quickly. And you've had the opportunity for that, and now the time's ticking away. Coming up to the 5-minute mark, they have 5 minutes to get 2 rounds. They need to get around fairly quickly if they have any chance of taking this to a golden cap, because I think winning it outright is not really going to be possible for inVision right now. They have to try and get 2 rounds.
And SDCK, they'll be feeling very comfortable now. Like they can just sit in choke for the last 5 minutes and they've won Prem. Like, the onus is really on inVision to just do things here. And SDCK, they're just gonna be chilling. They're all on balcony. The med's on the low ground. The heavy's on balcony. They're just chilling around big door here. They know they
Clark
can
has
just
revenge
sit.
crits. He's going to do something with his revenge crits. He's going big door now.
Clark's gonna go huge here.
Oh, he just tickles Tercio a little bit.
Yeah, 18. It's respectable. 18 damage, you know. He's got that. Now Trooper's in on big door though, but everyone's backing out. They're not going to walk into his knife this time. Like, something has to happen here for inVision. We're getting to the 4-minute mark. They've had to use the Uber through the choke. Poker goes very weak during the Uber actually, so he's being forced to have a lot of the Uber to himself. They've dropped Tercio, Jack has gone down as well, but nothing else is happening. Like, inVision really need to just get these picks during the Uber, but again, SDCK, they're playing so passive. Dago has actually he's gone down to hooker, just got 2 shot by him in the end, and both teams are down a lot of players here. This could be the chance. Kazrock is just looking at choke, like hard scoping at the Wardrow's flanking him. No chance there for him to survive. Yeah,
this is the chance. This is their chance. Yeah.
This is the chance. They got 60% advantage for the last again. Like if they beat for this, like it is over. Like, they have to get in, like, basically now, and then get another quick round. They got to play this perfectly. inVision do. Whereas SDCK, they even if they lose this round, they need like 1 really good trade overall to win Prem at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, with the clock at this point, you know, inVision have to play perfect. They've already dropped their engineer as well, so no pressure on this point from Launchpad.
Oh, they dropped Tercio again.
Tercio's gone. They've only got on the heavy with this Uber. And here come the cavalry to defend this point, and it's looking like a wipe going to happen for inVision. It's just staying alive here, see if we can cause anything. But yeah, that's a wipe for a split second there.
3 minutes is still not the end. We could see some
magic happen. It's still possible, but we've got a full advantage here for Daegu, and they've got battalions as well. Trooper's in, he's a good person who can really kill things like battalions, but he does get found out by other core in the end.
So I guess SDCK.
Oh, the force actually comes out. You know? Doom gets a force onto Daegu there, so maybe if we get the force off here and then we get the respawners, they can maybe get something done. But they're trying to contest people on this point a little bit, but they can't. inVision, they haven't got the players to do so. And it's 2 minutes left now, and 40 seconds. This is do or die at this point. They have gotten like the med pick in the end there, and they've got the ad, but I don't think they've got time to get Uber before pushing off with it. They're going to try and dry. And look at the aggression from SDCK. They just got people in on second, getting these picks, slowing this push down, and it's making it very difficult for inVision to actually get a foothold back in this game.
They got the bit between their teeth now. You know, they know that the game is pretty much won. They can just walk forward and DM, and it's going to take a colossal wipe from them for even to be possible for inVision to get back in the game. We got just over 2 minutes left on the clock. We do see inVision are capping the point. They're capping mid. They have an advantage. If they were to Uber in here and just destroy, you know, get a massive one.
They'd have to get they have to play perfectly from here on out. Like every fight has to go in their favor. Like a lightning mid. Poker's hiding. He gets the medic. He's just hiding on top there. Yeah. It was a drop. He was just hiding on top of the sign in Victor and just drops the medic. I think that's going to be the final nail in the coffin for inVision. There's just not enough time here to cap these points and get another round.
Yeah, I mean 1 minute 30. By the time it's not possible now, and SDCK will be Premiership champions for season 19.
It's going to be heartbreaking for inVision though, just to get that really good round at the start, like 5 minutes in after that steal performance as well. But they've just these last pushes, have just been not going their way for the second half of the game.
They've had their
completely on top. Yeah. They've had like maybe like 4 good chances at last that have just been blown by just like silly little things like dropping Tercio, dropping people before the Uber, not clearing out water. It's just been they've been playing really well, just not been getting these last conversions through. SDCK, but their defense have been just too strong. They've been like really capitalising on every single mistake that inVision have made.
The problem, the thing that's going to sting for them is how close Upward was.
Yeah.
Because they had 2 rounds that were very good. They had very good times on both maps, on both rounds, on Upward, and SDCK just, managed to edge it over them by a minute, on both rounds. Steel, they looked really, really strong on, and they did really well. And when it gets to Gully Wash, you're 1-0 up, you're on your last, just kind of chilling, and then, in the 1-1, they maybe started taking risks, and maybe that's the experience from the players on SDCK. They're just saying, hey, you know what, like, we don't need to take risks here, we just need to play it slow and wait for someone to make a mistake. And inVision were trying to maybe force the issue, and on 5CD and Highlander, you don't want to force the issue, you want to play it calm. And once SDCK got the round there, inVision had chances. They've had chances in the last 10 minutes to get another round on the board, and it's just that last push that's been slightly lacking for them. So a valiant effort, definitely. They'll be stinging for them, and they'll be, they'll be feeling a little bit aggrieved. But SDCK just showing a little bit more experience there and edging them out.
Absolutely. Like when you know that you got a team with SDCKs, just they've got the Wodor, they've got the experience behind them, they've got everything just on their side in terms of the they don't even really need a main caller like as strong as Sunburn. It's more the fact that they were able to just every single mistake was individually capitalized on by the players. They couldn't if inVision made a single mistake going into any like last push there, it was over. And the one good round that they got pushing last was the perfect last push. If they had just done that again and kept their Pyro alive, then maybe we could have been seeing a different scoreline here. But there we have it. In the end, we have Super Dickmann's KANNONEN, the Season 19 Premiership champions, picking up their 4th